Conversations lead to relationships, and relationships lead to clients. Explain community building for the layperson, and then maybe for somebody who's already trying to build a community with their product or with their company. I have a community of why not leaders, or I call them why not champions, who like to lead different. That's who I want to attract, and that's who I want to get recommended to. But maybe talk to us about what community building is for the basics, and then let's give us an example of somewhere where you helped build a community and what that did in terms of revenue.
Yeah, so I think the buzzword right now is community. So I think community has come to mean a lot of things. Uh, One way you can look at community is a sales funnel. So how do I bring people? How do I create a funnel and then bring people into this community and then ultimately manage them based on the information or whatever I'm doing with inside that community that they become a client or a sale or whatever the case may be. So you've got that kind of, which I think is being overdone because there's so many communities. Though, if anyone's listening to this, I have not found one for business operations. My brother's in biz ops, and we were talking. I'm like, is there a biz op community? He's like, I don't think so. So maybe there's a hole there, but for the most part, you could find any kind of community you want. What I love focusing on is your existing customer community and giving them in a place. Most of the time, community in that realm is created by marketing or customer service, and they're looking at for product feedback or how do we overcome some of the issues or tech issues that our customers, and becomes, in a sense, a place they complain, or I wish I had this feature. What I loved and what I was able to do is you had the conversations. So kind of your example here is you start having the conversations, you start understanding how are people using this product, what could they be doing, what do they need. So it's great product feedback, but you also start understanding where are these people living. So where other communities are they in? There's tools out there that can give you some of this kind of stuff, but the best piece is having these conversations. Having these conversations with your customer allows you then to start increasing retention because you're also educating them on the product. You're finding new ways that they could use it, which hopefully increases your spend. They become an advocate of it. They're like, wow, this is an amazing platform. This is an amazing company. I want to go tell more people about it because they have the great customer service experience with you. But you're also then, because my mindset goes revenue, is like, all right, who else should I be talking to? So every person I'm talking to, I'm like, who else can you connect me with? And we just continue down that road. So that becomes a referral network there for your inbound leads in some cards. And then you look at it from a partnership standpoint. Where are the commonalities within the customers we have, what groups they're in, products they're using that you could start looking at, either tech integrations, you could look at from a co-marketing, co-selling kind of motion. You could look at all these different components. So for me, the community becomes like this flywheel, becomes this ecosystem of connections with a revenue draw of retention, growth, partnerships, and referrals, because now you've got an audience that's looking at you not just as a product, but as an ecosystem of like, wow, you've brought these people together in this shared place. Once again, being the person of a connector, being the connector that I am, I'm like, hey, Dan, you should be talking to Sally in the community because I've talked to you both. I've seen what you're doing, and that'd be a great fit. Ultimately, you're now creating a business solution that your product isn't just the glue from, because you always have to remember, your product isn't everything in this person's business. Even if you're Salesforce, right? Like you're still using other tools. So how do you start being the connection of going like, Dan, you should talk to this person because you're having a similar issue. And now you start creating that place that people want to come to because your solution, as well as the community, is providing the value they need to be successful.